Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got today. All right. Well, let me show y'all this. Come on, man. Damn it. See that? They have been spraying all night, apparently. See that to the west? Well, tomorrow's supposed to rain, but they've been spraying the shit out of the sky. So, looks like we might not get any rain. And that's to the west. That's where most of our cold fronts come from when they meet with the cold fronts to the northeast or whatever. You know, I'm not a meteorologist, but I know what's up. But otherwise, they didn't spray too much of the sky yet. But look how clear the sky is. All right, look how clear the sky is. And this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the lie of CO2 emissions. Okay. Not that CO2 emissions themselves are lies, but the lie of the harm they cause to the planet. Okay. Let's talk about that. God damn. So, right now, me and my son are on our way to the stairs, the Culver City stairs, to get our cardio on. Yep, we're about to get it in. Cardio is important. You know, I try to do like 3 times a week. What's good, Same X? I try to get the stairs in, you know, the track. Just do different cardio workouts to change it up a little bit, to shock your body. And it's kind of cold, 52 degrees right now. It'll probably shoot up 20 degrees in the next 20 minutes because that's how Cali works when they spray these chemtrails in the sky. All right, let's talk about that CO2 lie. Now, there are CO2 emissions, right? But humans breathe CO2 out. Animals breathe out CO2. Insects breathe out CO2 through their skin, okay? Every living being that isn't a plant gives off CO2, okay? Now, this has been for millions of years, hundreds of millions of years, all right? And CO2 has never, you never heard of an extinction caused by CO2. Never, all right? Now, and I talked about this the other day, if CO2 was an issue, right? If there was too much CO2, because they acknowledge that plants need CO2, right? And the plants in the sea, all right? If there was too much CO2 for the plants to absorb, CO2 is heavier than oxygen, okay? That means we'd have a pool of CO2 sitting on the ground, right? And our oxygen would be pushed up further into the atmosphere. The more CO2, the more excessive CO2 there is in the in this part of the atmosphere. I think they call it stratosphere. And the stratosphere would be full of CO2. We wouldn't be able to breathe. All right, you know, because that's a fact. Despite the fact that they're spraying these chemtrails and it's drying the plants out, and you know some plants are dying, we still have plants absorbing CO2. All right, that's just a fact. Now we know that, right? We know CO2 is heavier. We know that oxygen is lighter, and it pushes that shit up. I know some people work in a refinery, right? And there are issues that can happen that involve CO2 in refineries. All right, And you go into these manholes, and there's guys working these manholes, right? In these vaults, they call them. And sometimes CO2 can leak out into it because of the process that they're doing to refine the oil. Now, there's been instances where so much CO2 got trapped in this manhole that a guy will go down there to work, and he'd pass out, he'd die, right? It wouldn't even be detectable, okay? A guy would see him down there passed out, he'd go down there to help him, he died too. And then the third guy, he died. And then a smart guy, the fourth one, was like, you know what? I'm not going down there. I see 3 bodies down there not doing shit. And they found out it was CO2. CO2 had collected enough for these guys not to be able to breathe. Okay? And this is what they're saying is going on all over the planet. Now, I remember in the 80s, we used to have what they call smog alerts, right? Smog alerts. And that was from the fact that there used to be lead in the gasoline. And you would see this brown haze all over the city. I mean, nothing but brown. It'll be super brown. It'll be nasty. People will be coughing and choking and shit, right? So they had lead in the gasoline. They had leaded gas, all right? Now, when they changed that to unleaded gasoline, they didn't say, oh, you know what? Let's change it to uncarbonated gasoline too. They did not say that because they knew that the carbon was not the problem. It was the lead they were putting in this motherfucking gasoline. All right? It was not the carbon. It was not the CO2. Now, a couple of things in regards to global warming. A NASA scientist just admitted that the contrails that planes give off in the sky is contributing to global warming. It's warming the planet. But notice they call it contrails, okay? They don't call it chemtrails. Look this up. A NASA scientist has come out to say contrails coming out of planes are causing global warming. They're contributing, all right? Well, how is it contrail doing that? Because contrail, isn't it supposed to be water vapor and some CO2 or something like that? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? So you telling me oxygen is oxygen and water vapor is contributing to global warming? Nah, it's a nanoparticles that's spraying out the back of it. See how they're breaking it down? They're bringing it to us slowly. They're bringing it to light slowly that we are spraying shit in the sky that's contributing to global warming. It is the greatest contributor to global warming. All the geoengineering they doing, what did LBJ say? The ultimate goal, I'm paraphrasing here, is to create a world cloud layer, right? The ability to create a world cloud layer. And in doing that, you're controlling the weather. And those who control the weather control the world. Why do we have this desire as human beings to control everything around us? All right? They want to control the weather and use it as a weapon. They've been doing that for 70 years, okay? Ask Iran. Ask the leaders of Iran, where they experienced a 1,000-year drought in less than 100 years. A 1,000-year drought. This shit is cyclical. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're just taking this shit and we're absorbing it and we're like, oh, okay, whatever. But we're not acknowledging that this shit is a problem. Okay? CO2 is not causing global warming, I don't believe. All right? It's not. It's not. We breathe out more CO2 than the cars give off. What about the polar ice cap melting? All right? What about Antarctica? Where, did you know that in Antarctica right now, you have melting ice sheets in Antarctica? But there's no cars out there. There's hardly any people, hardly any life in Antarctica, but yet the shit is melting. What's up, Derek? I mean, It's all good, man. Just talking about the lie of CO2. Listen, let me tell you something. Do you know that it was snowing on the Texas-Mexico border? It's snowing in the Mexico-Texas border, but it's warmer in Antarctica, and the ice caps are melting in Antarctica, but it's snowing in Mexico, Texas. Now, there's a process called chemical ice nucleation, where they can create snow. They can make it snow if they have enough moisture in the sky. Okay, they can seed the sky and create snow. They can seed the sky and create rain. They can do this. There are 200 patents on geoengineering right now. You don't get those patents unless you can prove the process works. So they've been doing this, all right? All you got to do is look all this shit up. It's out there, and we need to get the shit out there. We need to talk to the people, okay? Vote counts. Look, I like to be repetition. That's how you learn, right? That's how you beat that shit in like a drum. Okay, so you have it's snowing in Mexico, Texas, but there's no snow in Lake Tahoe. There's no snow. The shit's melting in Antarctica. Like, come on, man. When are we gonna see through this bullshit? When are we gonna see through this bullshit? And let me tell y'all something else. In California, the air quality has not been better in California for the last 30 years. And guess when that started? When the air quality started getting better? When we got rid of leaded gasoline. When we stopped putting lead vapor or lead gas into the air, that's when the air quality got better. If you look on the weather channel, on the weather app, right? It'll show you what the air quality is. Good. The air quality is good. If the air quality is good, then how is CO2 a problem? If they said in Hawaii that the CO2 levels on the planet have reached the point of no return, like it's too far gone to be fixed, then why is it so beautiful in Hawaii? Why is the sky so clear? Why are the trees so green? Let me tell y'all something. They lied to us, and the lies are so blatant and ridiculous that we have to believe it, right? They wouldn't lie about some silly shit like that, right? You know, I mean, look at life. These motherfuckers have been killing us slowly for the last 70 years. They're trying to find a way. You know what this is all about? And it may sound silly and stupid. This is all about being able to sacrifice children, to rape, murder, to have slaves. This is what this is all about. You reduce the population, and then you have the elite leading the reduced population, and that reduced population is tilling the fields. They're breastfeeding your children, and they're giving birth to children that they're going to fondle and fill on and rape. This is the agenda. This is part of their satanic plan to control the world. It's simple. It's nasty, it's nefarious, but this is the reality. You know, this is the reality. And this is the world we're living in, and we're allowing this shit to happen. You know, that we're demonizing CO2 so that they can say, you know what? Everyone, we're right. You're right. Humans give off CO2. How do we reduce the CO2 that the humans are giving off? Well, we do that by reducing the population. We got to. You get people on board. How do you do that? I don't know. We'll see. All right? We'll see what happens. But I'm just tired of it. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, I mean, we have to. I don't know what we can do, but there are people out there laying the groundwork and trying to get this shit out there, and this is why the NASA scientists had to admit that the spraying of the contrails is contributing to global warming, because it's gonna come out. They can't hide it no longer. Hey, son, come here. It's my son. He's a little perturbed about going to the stairs. Son, you want to go do the stairs?
No.
Why not?
It's because it's boring.
It's boring. Are you kidding me?
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
We're going to get up there. We're going to do some boxing drills. It's okay. It's fun. Trust me. So, look, I'm going to go and walk the stairs, and I'm going to breathe out CO2, about twice as much CO2 I'm breathing out now, because I'm going to be breathing hard. You know, but it's necessary, Stacy. We got to get out there and build our legs up. We have to prepare for we got to build up our cardio so that we can trek a long distance. So that, I mean, listen, I'm gonna start getting my pack on. I'm gonna get my pack. I'm gonna throw about 40 pounds in my pack, and I'm gonna just truck around the city. I'm gonna track up some stairs. I'm gonna track up the hills. What's up, Joyce? That's what we got to do. We got to prepare. You know what I'm saying? We got to prepare for any eventuality. You know. Yep. So, I mean, just look into that. Look into the NASA scientists talking about contrails. Look, CO2, we need that shit. We need CO2. Okay? And now they're talking about CO2 sequestration. Okay? I talked about this before. This is where they take the CO2 out of the air, and they put it down underground, deep underground, and form it into rock. See, this is something that algae and shit do, right? When the algae, they suck up all the CO2, right? Algae and water plant life, okay? They suck up all the CO2, right? And when they die, they get brought to shore, and they turn into rock. It's called limestone, all right? It turns into limestone. So that's how they trap CO2 as well. So this is the process that the world goes through, okay? CO2 gets dumped into the air. The plants absorb it, and the plants in the ocean, they die, and they get brought to the shore, and they form rock. And they trap the CO2, and it's a process. It's a cycle, okay? That's just the reality of it. And then and right here on land, let's say in the Himalayas, they have what they call She Legit, right? She Legit. I know it sounds like a funny name, but look it up. I use She Legit every morning, and it gives me energy, and it has a lot of good nutrients in it. But what She Legit is plant life that has been dead for thousands of years and trapped between rocks, and it forms like a little tar type substance, okay? Packed with carbon. Packed with it. Carbon and other shit. So this is the thing. Carbon is a building block of life, man. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, okay? What was that last word I said, son?
Oxygen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Synergy. Mm-hmm. So look, I'm telling y'all, man. Oh, and another update, okay? Derek, I know you live in Pennsylvania, right? This is carbon-based units. That's exactly. We're carbon-based, and they want to get rid of carbon. But this is an update. This has nothing to do with CO2 or what I'm talking about. But I need to tell y'all, Derek, you need to put the word out that they just introduced legislation, gun control legislation, that would ban assault weapons. Assault weapons, ooh. You know what? Let me tell y'all something. I got the skills to make this an assault weapon. What's up, San Diego? I got the skills. If I wanted this to be, this could be an assault weapon. This right here, assault weapon.
This is assault weapon.
This definitely an assault weapon. Assault weapon.
This is assault weapon.
Yeah, it could be an assault weapon. If I hit your ass with it, I assaulted you, and then it becomes a weapon, right? Let's see the games they play. Here, take this. So when they say shit like assault weapon, pardon my language, son. This can be an assault. This can be an assault weapon. So, Derek, anybody living in Pennsylvania, Derek, you need to talk to your people and make sure they don't get this shit passed. Okay? You live in Penn, you know they're doing this in Pittsburgh. This is a city ordinance they're gonna push. No. An automatic, all that means is an automatic weapon is a weapon where you hold down the trigger and it continues to fire with one trigger pull. You hold down the trigger. That's an automatic, okay? A semi-automatic is when you have to pull the trigger each time you fire, right? But, you know, it's you don't have to recock the gun or pull a bolt back. Okay, now you have bolt action where every time you fire a shot, you got to pull the bolt back. You got to retract the bolt by hand manually. Okay? Those are the differences. In assault weapons, I mean automatic weapons are really are used for suppression. Okay? It's not really used for its accuracy, right? You have a 50 cal, that's an automatic. You have a 240 Bravo, that's an automatic. You have a squad automatic weapon, that's an automatic. But that's not available to human purchase. Okay, we can purchase semi-automatic. Okay, but automatic weapons are less efficient because, you know, it's just there's a lot of muzzle rise. You know what I'm saying? And people miss a lot with automatic weapons. Now, 3-round burst is different. 3-round burst is different. That's what soldiers use. Like the regular foot soldier, they have an M4 with 3-round burst selection, and that's like 3 shots. Every time you pull the trigger, and that prevents muzzle rise, and you can throw a lot of shots down range and hit the target, okay, at once, and that'll probably stop them because those little 5.56 bullets, those rounds, I mean, it could take a lot of shots for an adrenaline pumped enemy soldier to take down. So that ban there, you need to stop that, because guess what? That bullshit is gonna proliferate, and we already got them doing that in California. They're not doing it as bad as they trying to do it in Pittsburgh, but yeah. So, you know, I mean, they're trying to get a lot of shit through. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. They're telling us now that contrails contribute to global warming. We know damn well it's not a contrail, okay? This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. You know, this shit is wild, man. Meanwhile, you know, I don't know, man. But we need to do something. We need to go to, like I said, go to city hall meetings, go to fucking, we need to do something, man. We got to go to these meetings. We got to go talk to our congressmen and our senators. We got to get in their face. Hundreds of us have to go up there. Okay? These town hall meetings can't be empty no more. We got to let them know we mean business. We run this shit. Okay? We run this shit. We don't even know it. Let me tell y'all something. Did you know that poor people, okay, you have the middle class, you have the poor, and you have the rich. Who spends the most money? Who drives the economy the most? The middle class, right? The middle class drives the economy, okay? The poor, some of the poor, they spend a lot of money, but we spend the most. You know? So we have the middle class, and we get together with the poor, and we can't divide ourselves from the poor, because we're this close. The way this economy is going right now, we're this close to becoming poor, the middle class. The middle class will be wiped out. If you're not making $1 million a year, you will not be able to survive. All right. Now, just so you know, some financial analysts have said that next year gonna be it's gonna be another recession. Okay. You got so many big companies are laying off people next year. Thousands, tens of thousands of people gonna get laid off.
Now say hit that like button.
Huh?
Now say hit that like button.
Live button?
Like button.
What light button?
I mean, always the thing you say when you're almost done.
Oh, hit the like button. Yeah, that's right. When I'm almost, you hear him? Tell him, son. Come here. There's 6 of y'all. I should see 6 likes. Tell him.
Hit that like button.
You heard him. Anyway, so yeah. Many jobs being laid off. Many jobs being gone next year. GM is laying off like 10,000 people. Ford is laying off like 40,000 people. Damn, it's crazy. All these people, and now they got these Amazon superstores, right? Where they're trying to make it all cashierless. You know what I'm saying? So this is what y'all need to do. If y'all got kids, right? Get them in a skilled trade. Send them to a trade school. Because like electrician, all right. Offered a butt out for all the, huh? What? Verizon laying off people too?
Recommend for people too.
Yeah, it's a bubble.
Yeah.
You know what's up there? You were into that. So, yeah. Listen, skilled trades. That's the job of the future right now. And there's not enough skilled tradesmen. All right. I'm in a union in the IBW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Okay. You know, what happened is we have so many jobs right now that we can't fill because there aren't enough skilled electricians in the union or out of the union. Because guess what? We're absorbing non-union workers. We're organizing them in. They're coming in as CEs and CWs until they pass a test, then they become full-fledged IBW members. But there are not enough jobs. Not enough people to fill these particular jobs. Okay, this is something that we need to get our children on. Okay, my son, I'm not gonna push college on him. You know, if he wants to become an electrician like me, I'm all for it. And my daughters, something, right? Get into IT, get into electronics, something like that, because this is where the future is going. If everything doesn't collapse and all the shit don't break down. Now, so yeah, because guess what? These cashierless stores is going to be run on computers and electronics and electrical shit. There's going to be constant maintenance that needs to be performed. They're going to need technicians and all that. They're going to need technicians, electricians. They're going to need plumbers, carpenters, all that. Because guess what? You have to maintain it. It's an infrastructure. It's a man-made infrastructure that has to be maintained. Exactly. HVAC. Okay? It has to be maintained. It has to be kept up. That shit does not run on its own. You think it might. Listen. As soon as they turn 18, get their diploma, take their ass down to a local union hall, and have them become an apprentice. That's the jobs. And computers, I guess, too. But, you know. Yeah, because or nurses and doctors, those are never going to go away. You know what I'm saying? And that's the future. Yes, STEM, exactly. My daughters, my daughters right now are taking an esteem class. They calling it STEAM now. They're taking a STEAM class once a week, and they doing it for 3 hours. And listen, man, I don't know. Unless you're gonna be out in the sticks, in a farm, you know, living on a farm, living on a ranch, unless you're gonna be doing that. That's where I plan on being, honestly. By the time my kids are grown, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to own some land. I want to raise some food. I want to raise my animals. I want to grow some plants. You know what I'm saying, and live that life. You know, if they allow it. If they don't, because you know they're trying to rewild the rural areas. So, you know, we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, these little simple jobs that people are doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, it's been nice talking to y'all. Remember, look up CO2. Find out what CO2 does and what CO2 is.
And hit that like button.
Temple University offers a free STEM course, and she's been doing it since September. My daddy. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Because, yeah, you can take your kids. Let me tell y'all something. If you decide to homeschool your children, you can still get them into classes. Like right now, there are colleges in my area that will allow kids to go to school, take classes. They can take art classes. They can take musical classes. They can take little science classes a couple of hours a day.
There's no phones
You know,
allowed.
they don't have to be in school all day. So,
Look at, there's no phones allowed.
yeah, no phones allowed. Yeah. So yeah, those are options. Those are options. Anyway, so I'm about to take my glasses off because guess what? I need the sun to hit my eyes so I can get my vitamin D. Okay, it's sunny right now, so you know, take my glasses off when I go outside because they're transition. They turn, you know, they go dark. I'm gonna go out there and get some much needed sunlight in my eyes because it's winter time, and that's what we need. We need that sun to hit us.
Okay.
We need that sun. Go out and get that vitamin D. If y'all are getting sick, you know, do what you got to do. If you start, last night, I felt like I was getting the sniffles and started getting the coughing and shit. So I took my flu fighter. I took my allergy relief. You know what I'm saying? Some bees bread. You know what I'm saying? This morning, I ate my bees bread. Had my son eat some bees bread. And look at him. He ain't got no mucus in him. And we had pizza last night. Yeah, we had a cheat day. We had pizza last night. No mucus. Knocked it out. Get rid of that mucus. Because guess what? Most sickness comes from mucus. That's all it is. A mucus membrane around some cells. And then when you got cancer, guess what? Mucus. Okay? And sugar creates mucus. You know what I'm saying? Cheese without the proper enzymes. Milk without the proper enzymes in them. Mucus. So if you're getting sick, don't eat don't drink no homogenized pasteurized milk. Get some raw milk. Okay? Raw milk, raw cheese, raw butter. That's all we eat. Okay? And you know, get some sunlight, get some 20-30 minutes of sunlight a day. 20-30 minutes of sunlight a day. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be good. You know. I know some of y'all living in areas where, you know, even if it's snowing outside. If it's snowing, you can still get some sunlight. You're not gonna get you probably need to be out there a little longer. But if you get it through the eyes, that's where most of it hits. That's where you absorb most of that sunlight. You know what I'm saying? And that'll help. That'll also help with your eyesight. Now, I wear glasses, okay? But I've had the same prescription for the last 10 years, 10, 12 years. My eyesight hasn't gotten worse because when I go outside, I take my glasses off. If I'm not looking at the TV, I'm taking my glasses off. All right? Because your eyes need to work on its own. And one way to exercise your eyes is to focus on the tip of your nose. Look at the tip of your nose, right, for 10 seconds at a time. That'll strengthen your eyes. Guess what? Your eyes have muscles. And then the more you look through these glasses, the weaker they get. So take them sunglasses off outside. Take them eyeglasses off if you don't need them. Now, if you like damn near blind, you know, it is what it is. You got to wear your glasses. But if you have decent vision, if they're not super bad, take them glasses off as often as possible. Jackson, Mississippi, according to Men's Health magazine, and Natural is Cancer Central. according to, oh, yeah. So, yeah, sunlight. Take them glasses off. You know what I'm saying? Take that iodine. I took some iodine this morning. My son took some iodine. You know, listen, this is what we got to do. We gotta prepare our bodies and go breathe out that CO2 so those plants can suck it up so they can get that oxygen back. All right. CO2 is life. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get back at y'all. Holla at y'all when next time I'll probably be in front of the computer. Anyway, hit that like button, share, subscribe, or if you don't feel like sharing, you don't have to. Just look up the information I told you about and share with your friends. And Derek, make sure, make sure you're in Pennsylvania, spread the word. They're trying to come out with this retarded gun control bullshit. You need to put that to a stop. Okay, you need, talk to your people, man. Talk to your people. All right. If you don't want to share the information yourself. Okay. Get that information. Look it up. Share it. Okay. We need to get this word out. All right. Anyway. Peace. Say peace, son.
Peace.
Stop showing your little belly.